Hi everybody at Yoga Within. How are you? I hope everybody's doing well. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a side stretch kind of workshop. It's a little bit of flow, a lot of opening along the sides, just thinking about how much time we're spending inside and maybe sitting a bit more than usual. Let's really look at opening up all the way along the sides, and hopefully we'll feel a little bit taller after this class and feel just a little bit more open. Okay, have a block nearby if you need it, or a cushion, but you may not need it, so just in case. Let's start seated. So just coming to your mats. You can also just be sitting on the floor. Whatever you have at home is just great. So just dropping the sit bones down. You might need to adjust a little bit here. Just think about lengthening up through the spine, dropping that tailbone down a little bit and softening your shoulders. Close your eyes, bring your focus to your breath, and just allow the body to soften. So the shoulders are relaxing, the hips are relaxing, the belly is soft. The hands can just be in your lap or on your knees, whatever feels more comfortable. And just really focus on that breath and how it is entering and exiting the body. No judgment, just notice. Just observe what's happening. And then with each breath, allow some more relaxation. So releasing tension, releasing worry. Just let it all go. This is the place to be present on your mats. So let's bring our awareness back, deepening the breath. Good, opening the eyes. Let's take the hands out to the side. We'll just do a few inhales with the arms coming up. Exhale, taking them down. Inhale up again. Exhale and down, just nice and gentle and smooth. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, coming down. Good. So keeping your right hand on the floor. Inhale, lift up the left arm, and you're going to lean over to the right. So try to keep that left hip down. Open up the chest and reach the fingers over the head. Breathing here. Good. Inhale, come on back up and over. Kind of warming up into the side bends. Leaning to the other side. So reaching through the hand, dropping the hip, opening up that chest. So the shoulder comes back a little bit rather than crunching forward. Breathing here. Nice. Nice and long. Inhale. We're going to do that again, but we're going to do something different with the bottom hand. So lifting the left hand up. Let's crawl the fingers out. It'll feel a little bit different here. Opening up the chest, opening up the torso, reaching across the ear with that top hand, keeping the hip down. Good. Come on back up. Left hand comes down. You're lifting up the right and crawling those fingers out away from you and reaching over the ear. Again, opening that chest. Breathing here. Good. Inhale. Come on back up. Take the hand down and just roll the shoulders. Good. Okay, so we're going to come into a little bit of a forward fold. Let's just switch legs so the other foot is in front. We're going to have the spine nice and long. Take the fingers to the floor and just crawl your hands out. Don't worry about how far you're going. Just think about breathing into it. dropping the tailbone down as you reach the fingers away. You can just look straight down, or you might be able to drop your head down. You can do that. You can also support your head with a block if that feels a little more comfortable. But just think of reaching those fingers away as the tailbone moves down in the other direction. Breathe. Good. Getting some length through both sides of the torso. So you're even on both sides. Good. Let's just lift up the head. We're going to crawl the hands over to the right, over by the knee, and reach the fingers away again. So you should be able to feel this all the way down to your hip. You want to keep this hip down. To go a little deeper, take that left hand on top of the right one, and then drop your head again. Breathing. So you should be able to feel this from the fingers all the way down the arm to the armpit, down the side of the body to the hip. Nice long stretch here. Breathe into it. Opening up that side of the rib cage. Good. Inhale, lift the head again. Let's crawl the hands over to the other side to do the same thing. So keeping the fingers away from you, dropping the other hip down now. Good. You can take the right hand over the left this time, dropping the head down, and again, feeling length from the fingers all the way up the arm, across the armpit, down the torso to the hip, which is pressing down towards the floor. Breathe here, nice and long. You should feel nice and open. Good. Awesome. Lift the head up. Take those hands back in front now, and take the hands up to your legs. Good. Shaking the legs out. Excellent. So good. Okay, let's come on to our hands and knees. Feel free to roll up your mat, to have some cushion under your knees, or use a blanket or something if you need it. So coming to tabletop position here, we're going to press back through the right foot and lift it up about hip height. Now we're going to come right into a side bend, because that's what this is. I'm going to just adjust for you here. Let's take the foot across the left leg and drop the toes to the ground. You're going to press back through the heel and then take the gaze towards the heel. So you're lengthening again along the right side. Keep breathing. If you want to go deeper, you might slide those toes over a bit more. Keep pressing back through the heel. Try not to sink into the shoulders, but lift the upper back up a little bit. Breathing. You're also working the obliques on this side as you crunch them together. Good. Let's lift up that foot and take it back down to tabletop position, and we'll do the same on the other side. So lifting up the left foot now. Keep the heel behind you. Good. Drop the foot over across the right foot and press back to the heel. This time looking back towards the left heel. Good. Keep breathing. Again, try not to sink into the shoulders, right? Breathing here. Nice. If you want to go deeper, slide the foot across farther. Keep that heel moving back. Keep the gaze over there. You're working both sides of the torso here. Good. And lift the foot up and take that down and just shake out the hips a little bit. Awesome. Okay, we're going to take the foot back again, that right foot. Good. Try to stay nice and long here. Bring the knee in towards the chest, and you're going to bring that foot forward into a little bit of a lunge here. Good. Again, you can turn a little bit, walk that foot out a little bit so you have a little more distance between the legs. Good. Let's lift up to the legs. So we're in a low lunge. We're going to lift the arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to drop the right hand down, reaching for the floor with those fingers. Reach up towards the ceiling and then lean over. So again, you're getting lots of length all the way through here. If you need to back off with those hips, then you can be up higher. You're still going to get lots of length through the side. So breathing here. Nice, reaching those right fingers down. You'll see a little bit better when I do it on the other side. Good. Lift the arms up, take the hands down, come back to tabletop. And that kind of deserves a little bit of a wiggle of the hips, I think. Let's do the other side. So pressing back through that left heel. Good. Bring the knee in and forward to a lunge. Good. Gently lifting the hands up to the knee. Again, walking that left foot out maybe a little bit. Deepening into it if you want to. Challenge yourself a bit more. Let's lift the arms up. Let's drop the left hand down now. Inhale, lift those fingers up to the ceiling. Lean over to the left. So now you're getting lots of length through the right side. Breathing here. You should be able to feel it in the hip flexors as well. If you don't want it to be as intense, back off. You're still going to feel lots along the torso here. Nice. Good. Let's lift that arm up. Take the hands back down. Good. And bring yourself back to downward facing dog. Just moving the hips a little bit, bending one knee at a time. And breathing. Don't forget to breathe. Good. So from this position, we're going to lift our right foot up behind. Good. You can reach through those toes, keep them spread a little bit. Now bend the knee, bring the foot into the glute and lift the knee up. So we're opening up on the right side here. Opening up all the way along that torso again, opening up the hip. Breathing here. Good. Now take your gaze forward. Bring your knee towards your chest. Bring the foot between the hands. You're going to drop the left heel and lift yourself up to warrior two. Good. Breathing here. So you're bending this knee, you're dropping the hips down, you're softening the shoulders and reaching the hands out. Good. Now let's take the left hand to the left thigh and lift up to reverse warrior. So you're already getting into a little bit more of a side bend right here. To go even deeper with it, straighten the right leg. And then you'll feel even more length through the right side. Breathing here, pressing the feet into the mat. Good, let's come back to warrior two. Breathing here. Nice, take the right arm to the right leg, lift the arm over, ultimate side stretch. So you should feel this from the fingers all the way down to that left heel. Now open up the torso. Good. If you want to go a little deeper, you can take the block or your hand inside the right foot and then reach that arm over. See if you can drop the hips a little bit, but keep opening up the torso. You're definitely getting some length here. Good. Let's take the arm down and back up to warrior two. Good. Let's come over to our lunge again and then into plank position. Just hold here, pressing the heels back. If it's a bit much, take the knees down. Good, come back to downward facing dog. Breathing here, nice. Move the hips around, bend one knee at a time. Nice to open up the hips and the sides, right? Let's lift the left foot up, press back. Reach through those toes, try to keep them spread as you reach away. Bring the foot to the glute, open up the knee, look under the arm if you can, opening up that whole side. Good, take the gaze forward, bring the knee forward. Good, drop the heel, open up to warrior two on this side. Breathing, so you're dropping down through the hips, you're bending that knee, you're reaching out, turning the torso. Drop the right hand to the leg, inhale, lift up to reverse warrior. Reaching up, but also grounding down. Good, to go a little deeper here, straighten that left leg and reach over the head for a nice long stretch. Awesome. Let's come back to warrior two. Take the arm to the leg and reach the arm over. I'm just going to turn around so you can see. So reaching that right arm over, opening up the torso to the front. Good. Pressing back through the right heel, dropping the hips down as you open the chest. Awesome. If you want to go a little deeper, you can use your block or use your hand to take it down and lift that arm over. Again, dropping the hips and really getting a nice long stretch here. Breathe, breathe. Let's open up to warrior two again. Good. Take our hands back down to plank and just hold here. Breathe. Pressing those heels back. Excellent. Good. And let's go back to downward dog. Moving the hips, bending one knee at a time. Good. Awesome. Okay, we're going to lift up the foot again. So take that right foot up, but this time just bring it forward into a low lunge. So you're going to drop that left knee and untuck the toes. Keep the left hand inside the foot, and you're going to lift up into a little bit of a twist. So again, you decide how deep you want to go with those hips. Now to come into the side bend portion, take the arm over your ear. Good. And try to press the right hip back a little bit. Then you're really going to get some length from the fingers all the way to the hip. Breathe here. Good. Now from here, you're going to look down. You're going to take your right hand inside that left foot. I'll just turn a little bit more for you. And you're going to lift up the left arm now. So balance might be a challenge. Widen the right foot a little bit more, but see if you can press that knee and arm in towards each other. Reaching up over your head, and then reaching over your ear to get even more length along the left side. Breathing. Good. Good. Let's take that down. Take the foot back and lift up into downward dog again. Bending one knee at a time, moving those hips. And we'll do the same on the other side. Lifting the left foot up. Good. Bring the knee forward. Take the foot forward. Drop the right knee. Good. Keep the right hand inside your left foot. And on this side, you're going to lift the left arm. You're not crunching into the shoulder. You're trying to lift up nice and tall. Good. And now take that arm over your ear. Now you could go deeper with this and drop the hips, right? And really get into the hip flexor. Otherwise, you keep things up. See if you can take that left hip back as you reach the hands away. Breathing. Good. Now let's drop the left hand down inside the left foot. Lift up the right arm. Good. Breathing. So again, you can deepen by dropping the hips, but if you don't want to, take them back. Good. To come into the side bend, reach that arm over the ear. Open up the chest. Good. Breathing. Do you feel it from your fingers all the way down across your hip to your leg, right? Awesome. Let's take the hand down, tuck the toes, take the foot back to downward dog. Again, bending one knee at a time. Woo, yes. Let's walk the feet forward to the hands. Exhale and fold here. Just shake out the head a little bit. Keep the knees soft. And then slowly roll yourself up to standing. Good. Breathing here. Rolling the shoulders. Feeling taller yet? Maybe. Maybe it's coming still. Okay, so in standing position, we're just going to do a simple rope pull. Well, it's simple, but you have to use your brain a little bit. We're going to reach up the right hand and bend the same knee. And right here, you can see we're getting some length, right? So lift up the other arm, bend the other knee. Good. So do a little bit of this action. See if you can go a little bit faster, just to get a little bit of opening along each side. Good. Now let's reach the arms up and then lean back into a little bit of a back bend. Good, come on back up. Open up the legs, toes pointing out, come down into a squat and just kind of rest here. Try to drop the tailbone a little bit. Good, you can get as low as you like. Awesome, let's come back up again. We're gonna do our little rope pull sequence again. So right arm, right knee, good. And the opposite way. Good. Might take a few tries to sort of figure out what goes with what. But basically you're trying to lengthen. So you want to bend the knee and reach up through the same hand. Good. Breathing. Breathing. Nice. Let's lift the arms up. Again, come into a back bend. So you're taking the hips forward a little bit as you lift up and over. Breathing here. Good. Come forward, open the feet, come down into that squat again. Resting, breathing. Try to drop the hips down a little bit. Drop that tailbone. I know you might be able to feel it in the thighs. Awesome. We're going to come up again and do it one more time. Okay. And we'll add to it a little bit here too. So let's do our rope pull. So reach and bend. Reach and bend. Good. You're going to be so good at this. You could do this to music and dance. It's a good movement to do. Awesome. Okay, before we go into our back bend, let's lift those arms up. You can grab a wrist and then lean over to the side. Good. Try to open up the chest. Take that shoulder back. Keep the feet planted on the ground. Breathing here. Awesome. Let's lift up, switch wrists, and lean over to the other side. Keeping the feet solid, opening up that chest a little bit, reaching the hands over. Good. Let's come back to our back bend. Reaching the hands up and leaning back. Breathing, the hips go forward a little bit. Awesome. Come on back up, widen the feet. Come down into that squat position, dropping the tailbone. Maybe even play with the weight on your feet so you can kind of swing side to side a little bit. Maybe lifting up the toes and then land in the center. Take the toes away from the mat and see how that feels. Good, breathing here. Let's take the hands to the floor. Drop the head into a forward fold, so turn your toes forward. Keep the knees soft if you like, and just swing side to side a bit. Ah, good. Nice. Okay, let's come back to our plank pose. So we're pressing the heels back. We're lifting the upper back up, and feel free to do this on hands and knees if it feels better. We're going to do a tiny movement. Everything basically stays where it is, but you're going to turn the hip just a little bit to the side and then to the other. So it's a really small rotation. You're working the obliques here as you do it. You can also do it with your knees down. If that feels better, keep going. Just a little tiny movement. The arms are not moving. The legs aren't really moving. You're just trying to isolate the hips as they turn side to side. Now, take the hips to the left, come to the outside of the right foot, and come into a supported side plank. You can also do this with your right knee down and opening up the heel of the left foot. You're still getting a nice turn in there. Good. So keep holding, keep breathing. Try not to lift up the hips too much. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Keep the feet flexed. Good. Come back to plank. Same on the other side. Turn. So you're coming into that side plank with the supported arms. Breathing here, looking down. Taking the left knee down if you need to, and opening up that right leg if that feels better. Breathe here. Oh, goodness. Back to plank. Bring the knees down. Oh, open up the knees and come back into child's pose, reaching the hands forward and dropping the head. Just rocking the head side to side gently and deepening your breath. So you're taking it down nice and low into the body. Good. Okay, let's lift up the head here. Come up to your fingertips. You're going to take one of your arms and take it under the other one. So you're taking it along the floor. Again, support your head if you need to here. And reach the top arm away from your head. Again, getting some nice length from the fingertips all the way down to the hip. Breathing here. Also opening up in the shoulder. Feel free to press those fingertips into the floor and open up the torso a little bit to the side. You can crawl the fingers over across your head a little bit more to get even more length. Good, let's come back to center. Placing those fingertips and then doing the same thing on the other side. Good, taking the arm underneath, reaching it away from you. Reaching the top arm away from you as well. Good, dropping the head if you can. You might take it to the floor or use a block to support. Good, press into those fingertips, open up the torso a little bit. So you're getting into the sides, but you're also getting into the shoulders here, the hips. Keep breathing, try not to hold your breath. Awesome, let's come back up to center. Take those arms in front of you and then walk everything up. How's that feel? And let's rotate the shoulders. Just getting some circles in here to change the motion a little bit. Okay, let's come down to seated position. So we're going to come into a pose called Janu Shirshasana. We're going to do a nice wide version of this. So bringing your right foot into your leg, you're going to open up the left leg, okay? And basically, your torso is between both knees. So the left foot stays flexed. You're curling up those toes. You're lifting up through the spine. We're going to start with going into a little bit of a twist, and then we'll come into our big side bend. So left hand to the right knee, right hand behind. Lift up nice and tall. Try to keep the hips down, and then turn to your right. It's not a huge twist, but you should be able to feel it. Feel some twisting also in the side is really good for opening up. And you want to feel it in the hip. So to make sure that hip is down, you're lifting the head up and then really twisting into the position on your exhale. Both feet have curled toes. Good. Let's come back to center. Now, we're going to take that left hand. We're going to reach it out in front. We're going to lift up the right arm and lean over the leg. Good. So feel free to keep this here. You might feel more comfortable to take the elbow down or have a block under the arm, or you might be able to even reach that hand to the hip. Now reach that top arm over the toes that are curled up. Open up the torso, breathe. Try to keep that hip down. Breathe here. Nice. You're holding it for a few breaths. And as we get deeper, that hand might come closer to the foot, but it's not a competition. Don't worry about it. If you feel like you can, you might be able to touch those toes or hold on to the foot. Depends on how open you are, but you should be able to feel this all the way down the side to the hip. Nice. Breathing, breathing. Good. Let's lift up and take the hand down. Good. Let's just shake the legs in the center. You might feel a little taller on one side. And then let's switch sides. So bring that left foot in. Open up the right leg. Just adjust as you need to here. Good. Keeping the sit bones down, getting nice and tall. So now, right hand to the left knee. Curl those right toes up. Inhale, get long. Exhale and turn. Using your breath here. Keeping the length on that inhale, lifting up through the top of the head. On your exhale, going a little bit deeper into the twist. Breathing, keeping the hips down. Nice. Good. Inhale, come back to center. We're going to reach the right fingers away, lift the left arm up, and lean over that right leg. Good. So again, feel free to keep the arm in front. Maybe you bring the elbow down or even rest it on a block. Or you might even want to reach the hand to the hip and then reach that top arm over. Now open up the chest, reach towards the toes. Keep breathing into it. And if you hold it, you start loosening up some of those muscles. Feeling more length here. Breathe, breathe. Good. You might reach for those toes, you might not. Don't worry about it. You just want to feel that length and deepen into it. Good. Let's come back up to seated. Bring the legs forward. And then shake out the legs. Good. So we're just going to come into a little bit of a forward fold. I'll just turn to the side for you here. Good. Let's bend the knees, keep them soft. Take the arms underneath and then just flop forward. So feel free to drop that head. Breathe into it. Take several breaths here, just allowing you to release and feel a little bit longer. The breath might start slowing down in this position. Good, let's lift ourselves up. Good, bend the knees and bring the feet to your mat. Hug the knees, lift yourself up nice and tall. So this is when you want to think about both sides of the torso being equally as long. You've just stretched them out, so try to keep them nice and long. And now release, rolling back a little bit. So rounding the back, dropping the chin. Inhale, come on back up. Lifting up nice and tall, feeling the even length on both sides of the torso. Exhale, tuck the chin, round your back. Let's do that one more time. Lifting up. Lots of length through the spine, lots of length through both sides of the torso. And then release. Tucking the chin, rounding your back. Good. And let's make our way down to the mat. And feel free to hug those knees into your chest and rock side to side. Good. Okay, we're going to come into one more side bend and then one more twist. So let's reach the legs away and the arms overhead. Let's get a nice long stretch and let's do a little bit of a banana stretch. So sliding the hands and the feet along the floor to the left. You should feel some length across the right side. If you want, you can even grab that right wrist just like we did standing, just to get a little more length. Breathing here. Good. Let's come into a nice centered stretch again and then slide everything over to the right. Again, grabbing that right wrist if you want to. Getting a little more length here. Breathe. Breathe. Nice. Good. Back to center. Reaching and then bringing the knees into the chest again. Okay, we're going to come into a pretty simple twist, and then you have some options of how to make it a little bit deeper and really more into a side bend. So let's take those knees, keep them close to your chest, drop them over to the left, and you're going to open up the right arm behind you along the floor, and you can take the gaze over that right shoulder. Now, what I want you to think about, if you bring that hand back, take it to the hip. Press the hip away from you. Think about dropping it towards the heel. Good. Then open up again, taking the hand away. Now, for more of a side bend, you can straighten that top leg. You can keep it just hovering above the floor. Feel free to grab the outside of the foot or grab the toe. And then you can really drop that hip and feel more length through the hamstring and through the whole side of the body. Breathe into it. Open it up. Open it up. Keep dropping the sit bone and the hip down. Breathe. Try to relax the right shoulder. Breathe into it and see if it'll drop down. Nice. Lots of breath here. Good. Bend the knee. Relax the pose. Come back up to center. Hug the knees and just swing them side to side a little bit. Good. And let's come to the other side. So dropping the knees over to the floor. And before we open this hand, take the hand to the hip and press it away. And you should feel some opening along the side here. So press that hip down towards the heel. Good. Then open up the chest. Take the arm along the floor. Take the gaze over to that hand. Good. Breathing. I've got to adjust to show you the next part. I have a couch in the way. Awesome. Let's straighten the top leg. So hovering above the mat. You're still taking that hip down towards the heel. Feel free to just hold on to your leg, your thigh, or you can take your hand to your foot if you like. Pressing through the heel, dropping the hip down, softening that shoulder as you breathe into it. Length, feeling length all the way down the leg and all the way down the torso, this one side. Breathe here. Let everything drop in and feel more open. Breathe. Good. Let's release. Bend the knee. Bring the knees back up to your chest. This time, lifting the head. Good. One nice long stretch. Feet one way, hands the other. And then release everything for a nice, comfortable Shavasana position. You can just stay on your backs. Now just see if you can feel the benefit of the practice. So do you feel a little more open, a little longer? Use your breath to just fill up the torso and exhale and really let everything go. So absorb the benefits of the practice, but release it all at the same time. Let the breath calm, slow down, close your eyes. Let everything just sink down into the mat. Breathing, relaxing, softening. Letting go. Feel free to stay here as long as you like in Shavasana. If you are going to wake up the body a little bit, just deepen your breath. Bring a little bit of movement into the body. Take your time to roll over to one side. Take a nice deep inhale there. Nice long exhale. And then when you're ready, just press yourself gently up to a seated position. We'll bring our hands to heart center. We'll take another breath together. Nice deep inhale. Nice long exhale. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel a little longer, a little taller, a little more open. And this is a class you can repeat, of course. It's a good thing to get into the sides and get a little movement for the day. Hope you're all staying well. Take good care. Thank you. Bye. Namaste.